إن الحمد لله الصلاة والسلام على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه وسلم. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to this session titled Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave forms and qualities of everything. Nothing is beyond His control. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created the universe and everything within it. However, after their creation, Allah did not just leave them to their devices. He is sustaining them. He is fully aware of their needs and conditions. Nothing is beyond His grasp. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala kept the system of this universe in His control. Creation cannot solve their own problems, let alone solve others' problems. If Allah gives a problem in their body, they lose control. So how can this man solve the problems of the world? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala changes the form and quality of creation. We see this in how our bodies evolved in the mother's womb, in the way babies grow to strength at youth and back to weakness at old age. يا أيها الناس إن كنتم في ريب من البعث فإنا خلقناكم من تراب ثم من نطفة ثم من علقة ثم من مضغة مخلقة وغير مخلقة لنبين لكم ونقر في الأرحام ما نشاء إلى أجل مسمى ثم نخرجكم طفلا ثم لتبلغوا أشدكم ومنكم من يتوفى ومنكم من يرد إلى أرذل العمر لكي لا يعلم من بعد علم شيئا. O people, if you are in doubt about the resurrection, then consider that indeed we created you from the dust, then from a sperm drop, then from a clinging clot, and then from a lump of flesh, formed and unformed, that we may show you. And we settle in the wombs whom we will for a specified term. Then we bring you out as a child, and then we grow you that you may reach your maturity. And among you is he who dies young, and among you is he who is returned to the frail old age, so that he knows nothing after having known. We see such dramatic changes in various other creations as well. The silkworms undergo a process of metamorphosis from a maggot into a caterpillar, in which they appear to be different insects in each stage. In the first stage, the maggot's sole concern is to eat, and that is why Allah inspires their mothers to lay their eggs in a place where food is nearby. We see in the growth of plants and bearing of the flowers and fruits the qudrat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So many things must come in place for the farmer to reap the harvest. It is Allah who waters the plants and makes it grow. Only Allah knows how much sunlight and carbon dioxide are to be supplied. If one tries to find any grain in the rice plant before its due time, they will not see any sign of grain in it. Similarly, we see the qudrat of Allah in the growth and maturity of the fruits, how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala evolves its color, taste, smell, and texture, etc. Among the examples we find in the Qur'an of how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala changed the quality of the objects and means are the stick. Musa alayhi salam's stick became a snake and back to a stick. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala turned twigs into swords for the sahaba radiallahu ajma'in in the battle of Badr. Water. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created paths inside sea to make way for Musa alayhi salam and his people. Stone. Musa alayhi salam hit the stone and water came out. Saleh alayhi salam made dua. A she-camel came out from a rocky mountain. Human. Some among the children of Israel were turned into apes and swines. Earth. Allah caused the earth which supports heavy weights and structures to swallow Qarun and his house. In the case of Qarun, the earth opened up for the destruction, whereas in the case of Ismail alayhi salam, earth opened up to provide Zamzam water by the command of Allah. Regarding Qarun, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, فَخَسَفْنَا بِهِ وَبِدَارِهِ الْأَرْضِ. So we caused the earth to swallow him and his home. Al-Bari is one of the names of Allah. The meaning of Al-Bari is evolver, the developer. Wallahu al-khaliqul bari wal-musawwir. He is Allah, the creator, inventor of all things, the bestower of forms. Rasulullah ﷺ said, shortly before the hour begins, people will be transformed into monkeys and pigs, swallowed up in the earth and pelted with stones. In another hadith, among this ummah, those who disbelieve in the divine decree will be swallowed up by the earth, transformed into monkeys and pigs, or pelted with stones. These hadiths indicate that such transformations will happen in this ummah as a punishment for some sins. For example, when the singing girls and music instruments become widespread and wine is drunk. Woe to the one who provokes the anger, wrath and vengeance of Allah. May Allah keep us all safe from the things that incur His punishment. When Rasulullah ﷺ was emigrating with Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu to Medina, Suraqa ibn Malik pursued him on a horseback. Rasulullah ﷺ made a dua against him. O Allah, cause him to fall down. As a result, Suraqa's horse stumbled and he fell. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is fully aware of the creation and able to change their qualities. من عمل صالحا من ذكر أو أنثى وهو مؤمن فلنحيينه حياة طيبة ولنجزينهم أجرهم بأحسن ما كانوا يعملون. Whoever works righteousness, whether male or female, while he or she is a true believer, verily to him we will give a good life, and we shall pay them certainly a reward in proportion to the best of what they used to do. Wallahu muhitun bil kafirin. But Allah ever encompasses the disbelievers. وَمَنْ أَعْرَضَ عَنْ ذِكْرِي فَإِنَّ لَهُ مَعِيشَةً ضَنْكًا. And whoever turns away from my remembrance, verily for him is a wretched life. وَاتَّقُوا اللَّهَ إِنَّ اللَّهَ خَبِيرٌ بِمَا تَعْمَلُونَ. And fear Allah, verily Allah is all aware of what you do. There are many instances when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala removed the qualities of the asbabs. Knife cuts, but in the story of Ismail salam it failed to do so. Fire burns, but in the story of Ibrahim salam it was unable to do so. قُلْنَا يَا نَارُ كُونِي بَرْدًا وَسَلَامًا عَلَى إِبْرَاهِيمَ. We said, O fire, be you coolness and safety for Ibrahim. Food and drink get spoiled over time, but in the story of Uzair salam, Allah kept them fresh for over 100 years. فَانظُرْ إِلَىٰ طَعَامِكَ وَشَرَابِكَ لَمْ يَتَسَنَّهْ. Look at your food and your drink. They show no change. The nature of the eye is such that it can only see what is apparent. It cannot see the reality. If it is a physical body, then it sees only the part of the structure that is visible to the eye. It cannot see the inside of the heart, for instance. Because of this limitation, one can easily be fooled. We see in the case of a pencil in a glass of water, the pencil is bent. This is how science, which only investigates what is apparent, can trick some people, and why it needs updating to conform to the evolved knowledge. We see rain descending from the clouds. It is Allah who sends us rain. أَلَمْ تَرَ أَنَّ اللَّهَ يُجْزِي سَحَابًا ثُمَّ يُؤَلِّفُ بَيْنَهُ ثُمَّ يَجْعَلُهُ رُكَامًا فَتَرَى الْوَدْقَ يَخْرُجُ مِنْ خِلَالِهِ وَيُنَزِّلُ مِنَ السَّمَاءِ مِنْ جِبَالٍ فِيهَا مِنْ بَرَدٍ وَيُصِيبُ بِهِ مَنْ يَشَاءُ وَيَصْرِفُهُ عَنْ مَنْ يَشَاءُ. See you not that Allah drives the clouds gently, then joins them together, then makes them into a heap of layers, and you see the rain comes forth from between them, and He sends down from the sky hail like mountains, and strike therewith whom He will, and averse it from whom He wills. The eye does not see the beginning or ending, it only sees the current stage, Of course, here excluding the distant galaxies and stars about which we can only see their distance past, not current or future state. Every object began from the soil and will return into soil. I did not see the time when first it was soil, and it cannot see the time when it will turn into soil, but only sees the current state. When you see an object, then think it's nothing. By the qudrat of Allah, it has taken this state, and one day it will be soil. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Qur'an, منها خلقناكم وفيها نعيدكم ومنها نخرجكم تارة أخرى. We created you from the soil and will return you to soil. Then we'll take you out from the soil a second time. Think of yourself like this as well. Thus we turn our certainty from nazar, evidence by witnessing and science, etc., to khabar, which is revelation authentically handed down. Revelation takes precedence over reason.
So, my respected listeners, this brings us to the end of the session.
May Allah give us the tawfiq to act upon what is heard and said. Subhanallah wa bihamdihi, subhanallah wa bihamdika, ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta, astaghfiruka wa atubu